11:27 a.m. Vladimir Putin set out to capture Kyiv at lightning speed when he launched his invasion of Ukraine under the guise of a special operation. But 5 weeks into the war, there is mounting evidence that he is turning on his spy chief and military advisors as his invasion falters. Putin feels he has been misled by military leaders who have failed to inform him about how poorly his campaign is going, declassified U.S. intelligence reports show. A U.S. official on Wednesday said Putin didn't even know his military was using and losing conscripts, showing a clear breakdown in the flow of accurate information. In a move that underlined the Kremlin's disappointment with its intelligence agencies, Colonel General Sergei Beseda, head of the Foreign Intelligence Branch of the FSB, Russia's security service, was reportedly sacked and arrested during the second week of the war. A woman looks for personal items in the rubble of her house, destroyed during fighting in the village of Yasno-Horodka, on the outskirts of Kyiv. AP photo of Vadim Gerda. He and his deputy were detained in early March and placed under house arrest on suspicion of corruption and providing false information about Ukraine, reports said. The FSB has not confirmed the arrests. Beseda was reportedly in charge of intelligence operations in Ukraine, and reports of his dismissal match a widely held assessment that intelligence agencies have been feeding the Russian leader information that overestimated Moscow's clout. A few days later, Russian media reported the dismissal of General Roman Gavrilov, deputy head of the National Guard, who used to serve in Mr. Putin's security detail. Russian officials have not confirmed the reports, but Christo Grozev, of the Bellingcat open-source intelligence team, quoted sources saying Gavrilov was arrested either for the wasteful squandering of fuel or for leaking military intelligence that led to loss of life. Alexei Danilov, chairman of Russia's National Security Council, earlier this month quoted intelligence sources saying Putin had sacked at least 8 generals over losses in the invasion, but those reports cannot be verified. Divisions between Mr. Putin, a career agent, and his intelligence chiefs were laid bare 2 days before the start of the war when he publicly admonished Sergei Naryshkin, head of the SVR agency, in a televised discussion about recognizing the independence of the 2 separatist statelets in eastern Ukraine. The chief of the much-feared agency stumbled as Putin repeatedly interrupted him, questioning him about his stance on the separatists' independence. Putin's remarks in the first week of the war suggested he expected Ukrainians to surrender within days, and that the Russian army would reach Kyiv by the end of the week. Russia President Vladimir Putin attends a meeting in Moscow this week. AP. Cracks started to appear shortly after the invasion started with images of Russian conscripts captured by the Ukrainian army flooding social media. Many of them openly questioned the rationale of the war and said they had not been told where they were going when they crossed the border. Ukraine even opened a hotline for the families of the captured Russians to bring them home, as Russia would not acknowledge their existence. Yet Putin, in an address earlier this month, insisted that Russian mothers could be sure conscripts would not be involved in the military operation in Ukraine. A day later, however, a defense ministry spokesman appeared on TV saying that they had uncovered several instances when conscripts had ended up in Ukraine. More evidence emerged this week, showing that Russia's military might be running out of resources, as it apparently had to resort to poorly trained conscripts from the separatist statelets. Russia's defense ministry has confirmed only about 1,500 S, but Ukraine says Russia has suffered at least 10 times that. While the extent of the mounting casualties is still hard to assess, Russian media have already confirmed the of 7 Russian generals in Ukraine, a staggering figure for 1 month of hostilities.